Khloé Kardashian is determined to support Scott Disick, even though Kourtney has moved on. Hi, before we continue, please subscribe to the channel for all Kardashians news and update. Khloé Kardashian has made it clear that no matter what happens between her sister Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick, she will never walk away from her close bond with Scott. A lot of people who watch reality TV often think that the connection between Khloé and Scott is only there for entertainment or to make their shows more interesting. Some think that the way they interact looks too playful or flirty to be real, but according to someone close to them, what viewers see is just a small part of their real relationship. Their friendship is very real and strong. The source said that the two of them spend more time together in private than people even know, and that their relationship has nothing to do with television or pretending. It is genuine, and they truly care about each other deeply, regardless of how Kourtney may feel about it. Scott Disick has been a part of Khloé's life since she was in her early 20s. According to the source, Khloé has always considered Scott to be like family. In fact, she has said that he will always be family to her, no matter what changes happen over the years. Scott has always treated her like a little sister and has remained very protective of her. Their connection goes beyond surface-level conversations or shared jokes. They have both been there for each other through very difficult times. Scott was there when Khloé went through her heartbreaking split from Lamar Odom, and again when she had to deal with the pain of Tristan Thompson cheating on her. Scott stood by her side and did everything he could to support her, trying to help her through those dark periods. According to The Insider, Khloé feels that Scott has always shown up for her when she needed someone, and because of that, she isn't going to suddenly distance herself from him just because Kourtney has decided to move on with her life. Khloé isn't talking badly about Kourtney behind her back or sharing Kourtney's secrets with Scott, at least, that's what she claims. Still, Kourtney doesn't seem to fully believe that. The Insider said that Kourtney suspects that Khloé and Scott may be talking about her, and this suspicion really bothers her. One thing that upset Kourtney was when Khloé chose Scott as the first guest for her podcast. That move spoke volumes and made Kourtney feel like she wasn't being prioritized by her sister. It felt to her like a signal that Khloé is more loyal to Scott than to her. But Khloé doesn't see it that way. In fact, she seems completely unaware of how her actions might hurt her sister and gets very defensive whenever someone questions her friendship with Scott. Kourtney and Scott were together for 9 years before they finally broke up in 2015. During their relationship, they had 3 children together: Mason, who is now 15 years old, Penelope, who is 12, and Rain, who is 10. After her breakup with Scott, Kourtney eventually found love again, this time with Travis Barker, the drummer for the band Blink-182. The two of them had been friends for a long time before their relationship turned romantic in 2021. They ended up getting married in a civil ceremony on May 15, 2022, in Santa Barbara, California. Just a week later, they celebrated their love again with a big wedding in Portofino, Italy, on May 22, 2022. Their love story continued to grow, and on November 1, 2023, Kourtney and Travis welcomed a baby boy named Rocky 13 into the world. While Kourtney moved forward in life with a new husband and a new child, Scott remained in close contact with Khloé, keeping their friendship alive and strong despite everything that had changed. When Scott appeared as a guest on the very first episode of Khloé's new podcast, called Khloé in Wonderland, they both opened up about how people have speculated for years that maybe something romantic was happening between them. They talked about how people often assume they are more than just friends, especially because of how close and comfortable they are with each other. During their conversation, Scott even joked that his late parents, Bonnie and Jeffrey Disick, used to ask him all the time if he had gotten Khloé pregnant. Scott said that every day, they would come to him with the same question, asking, "Did you get Khloé pregnant?" And he would jokingly answer, "Yes, Dad, I got Khloé pregnant," just to mess with them. Khloé quickly interrupted him during the podcast to make sure listeners didn't think the joke was real. She made it clear that Scott had never gotten her pregnant, and nothing like that had ever happened between them. She wanted the audience to understand that they had never crossed that line. Khloé also shared that she had done a poll asking her fans who they wanted to hear from on her podcast, and Scott was the #1 person people wanted. She said that most of the questions she got were about whether the two of them had ever hooked up or why they weren't married if they were so close. In response to the question about whether they had ever hooked up, Scott playfully yelled out, "Yes," but Khloé immediately said no, putting an end to the joke. Scott then shifted into a more serious tone. He said he thought it was crazy that people believed he and Khloé had been intimate. He explained that he has children with her sister, and that alone makes the idea of a romantic relationship between him and Khloé completely inappropriate. Scott emphasized that he and Khloé are not soulmates or romantically involved in any way. He admitted that he sometimes says things that might sound inappropriate or shocking, but it's just part of his personality and he never means it seriously. Khloé agreed and said that even if they ever did have a romantic relationship, they would be harshly judged for it. She believed people would strongly criticize them, and the backlash would be overwhelming. She called the idea disgusting, not because she thinks Scott is a bad person, but because of how wrong it would be in their family situation. Both of them agreed that staying friends was the best and healthiest choice. This deep conversation on the podcast helped to clear the air and put to rest some of the long-running rumors about the nature of Khloé and Scott's relationship. It also gave fans a closer look at just how strong their bond is. Even though they've never dated or been romantically involved, they clearly care for one another a lot. They've shared many personal struggles, supported each other through heartbreak, and built a friendship that has lasted for years, despite all the changes around them. Khloé has always been someone who values loyalty. That's probably a big reason why she continues to stand by Scott, even though her sister has moved on with someone else. She sees Scott as someone who has always had her back, and she believes that he deserves the same in return. While it might create some tension between her and Kourtney, Khloé doesn't want to push away someone who has been there for her through so much. To her, loyalty and history matter more than anything, and she's not going to turn away from someone just because it might make things a little uncomfortable. The friendship between Khloé and Scott isn't something that can easily be explained to outsiders. It's built on years of shared experiences, laughter, pain, and trust. While it may seem strange or suspicious to some people, to them, it's just normal. They understand each other in ways that most people don't see. And even though there might always be rumors or drama surrounding their connection, they both seem committed to keeping their friendship strong. So even though Kourtney has moved on, married someone else, and started a new chapter in her life, Khloé isn't going to abandon someone who's been like a brother to her. She may not always explain it in the way people expect, and she might not always see things from Kourtney's point of view, but in her heart, she knows what Scott means to her. Thanks for watching. Please do well to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more Kardashian updates.